Hello everyone, my name is Nick, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So I'm very excited for today's video because I finally got able to buy the Love Strike expansion pack. I know it's been 2 weeks since it first released, but I wasn't able to buy it earlier unfortunately, but yesterday I was able to buy it and I did. And right when I downloaded it, I started building immediately. So today we are of course in the world of Ciudad Enamorada, which is the world that comes with the Love Struck expansion pack. And for this one I wanted to make a big build. That's what I knew I wanted to do. And then I thought it would be a cool idea to build rentals, apartments here. The world to me overall gives off the vibe that, maybe without trying to be disrespectful towards the culture, but initially the vibe I get is that not the wealthiest of people live here. So I thought that it would be nice to build apartments here because historically speaking, apartments were meant or maybe designed as a cheaper means of accommodation. So yeah, that's what I thought it would be nice to do here. As you can see, the front of the build has almost taken its shape. I do really like the, how can I say it, the closed off porch, the area anyway that the 2 staircases lead to. Haven't added the second staircase yet, but I will in a bit. And yeah, I really like that. This little porch area leads to the main entrance of the build, and then the main entrance leads to the backyard of the build. But you can also access both sides of the lot from the side, if that makes sense. So you have the main opening, the main entrance here on the front of the lot, and then on the side of the lot there is another opening that is created by EA itself. It's not something I did. And yeah, so this lot is fenced in a way that is a bit restricting, I want to say. So I did have to use the debug fences that matched the one that is already in the world. I hope that makes sense, but yeah. So yeah, I did try to use this because if I used the regular fences that we got, it wouldn't reach the edge of the lot and it would look a bit weird. But anyway, I do think that I managed to work around it and make it work in the end. And here, yeah, here I'm using the terracotta tile that we got with base game. I think it's not with the Love Struck expansion pack, but I did use the one that we got with the pack on the inside of the build. I did decide to use this one that we got with base game because it looks a bit more pinkish, and I think it worked very well with the rest of the color scheme of the build. So yeah, I will be using the same on the backyard. And here I'm making the backside of the build. It didn't take me a long time to figure it out, but I do have to say that I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but here we have 3 apartments and one is bigger than the other. Especially the first one that we will be decorating is the smallest one. It's like a studio apartment. But yeah, I do have some little storylines for the Sims that I was imagining and living here. But yeah, as you can see in the backyard, I did use the fences that we have in the build by catalog, not the debug one that I used in the front, because for some reason I cannot use the tool mod to move the debug fence. I don't know why that was. Maybe I did something wrong and it wasn't working, but I don't know. So I did try to fence it in a weird way. There is this little empty spot between the 2 fences, but I don't think it looks too bad. But yeah, anyway, here I did try to expand the house like by 1 tile on the side of the lot because I thought it would make the studio apartment turn very small. And yeah, here we're moving on to the floor plan. It did come together pretty easily. I do have to say I didn't have much trouble figuring it out. The apartment on the top floor is actually my favorite one because I was able to use most of the love struck items. I don't know, for the other ones I want more traditional. Did use a lot of base game items because the items that we get with the expansion pack are more modern looking, so I didn't think they would fit the overall traditional style of the apartments that I was going for, at least. But yeah, it wasn't a big deal. I do think that the base game works really well with the expansion pack. However, I do have to say that with expansion packs, since we are required to pay 40 euros, at least in my case, for a pack, I believe that we should be able to fully furnish a house using only the pack. And unfortunately, we didn't get any counters or cabinets with this pack or any kitchen items. The only thing that we got is like a tortilla heater, something like that. It's a device where you can warm up your tortilla pitas or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for me, since I love kitchens a lot, that was a bit disappointing, but at the same time it's fine because the pack focuses on dating, so it wouldn't make sense to have kitchen items, I suppose. However, I do have to say that food is a big part of love. You know, some people like to show their love through food, and that's also my case. I do love to cook for the people I like, and yeah, so it would also make sense. I don't know, I'm not sure what route they went towards, but it is what it is. So the pack is already done. But yeah, that's a piece of criticism I have. I also use this little grill in the front entrance, which is very, I think it's also Spanish inspired. I think we got it in a update and an anniversary a couple of years ago. I don't really remember, but yeah, here I'm decorating the backyard and I really like how it turned out. The little pool, it's not too big, but yeah, we also have like the little, I don't know, are they loungers, is that what they were called? I'm not really sure, but I really like the glass table I placed there with the chairs, and I did add some plant boxes so that your Sims can practice their gardening skill, maybe something like that. I did try to add a few activities here and there. I did also add off screen an art easel in the backyard porch, and yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not really sure. I cannot recall at this moment, but I think that shortly we will be moving on to the first apartment. As I mentioned, it's the smallest one of the three, but I do think that it turned out very, very cute. For that one, I was imagining maybe a student. Yeah, a student, because I did place a single bed there, so you can have only one Sim sleeping there. I think it turned out very pretty, and so yeah, I think it turned out very pretty. Now I will be decorating the front entrance for now. I love the doors that we got, but I do have to say that one thing I sort of dislike is that when you rotate the door, the frame like moves on the other side, so you can have the door facing only one direction. But of course that's not a big deal. It's just that I like to rotate my doors so that I can place the light switches on a particular side of the door. But I think that's just a me thing. And yeah, as you can see here in the main entrance, I am using this chipped out swatch that we got with the expansion pack. I love how it looks, and overall I do like how the build looks a bit run down, yet the apartments are, I don't want to say renovated. The only apartment that is supposed to be renovated is the one on the top floor. The other two that are on the ground floor are supposed to be a bit more traditional, but I do think that they have been well taken care of. As you can see, we're here in the first apartment, which is the studio apartment. I did use mostly base game as I did in the second apartment as well. But here I was having a bit of a tough time figuring out how I want to lay out the furniture. I do love the artwork that we got with the expansion pack though. It's very pretty. And also the windows. When the pack released and we got a look at the objects, I do have to say that I wasn't very excited. I thought it wouldn't match my style at least, but now that I have the pack and I have made this build, I do have to say that I really appreciate the style of the objects. But yeah, I still had a bit of a difficult time because I wanted to use as many objects of the pack as possible, but it wasn't really possible for the traditional style that I was going for the two apartments on the ground floor. I do really like these curtains. They are very, I don't know how to describe it, but very detailed. I like that. They might not be the most versatile ones, but I really appreciate the design. And you know what? We don't always have to have versatile things. It's good to have them, but they're not necessary. And for this one, I think we did have to get some very culture specific items, of course. And here, as you can see, I did try to fit a small living space and a bed. I think it looks, honestly, it does look a bit weird, but I think that's very realistic for studio apartments. So yeah, anyway, that's at least the best I could do. And here I did add the little fan that you can place on the wall. I think I did delete the fan on the ceiling though. I don't know why, but I don't know, I think it looked a bit weird in my eyes at least. But overall, I do think that this studio apartment turned out very pretty. My favorite part is the kitchen. I really like the tile. Even though I initially did find the orange color of the tile a bit overpowering and a bit tiring for the eyes. Is that how we say it? Yeah, I do like it overall. And I did use these base game counters. I thought they looked a bit modern initially for the style I was going for, but then after I placed the fridge and stovetop or stove, I'm not sure what the difference is, but I do think it looks very pretty, and I did try to clutter it. Another thing I do want to mention is that we didn't get a lot of clutter pieces for kitchens, only the tortilla warmer. But yeah, as I mentioned, we didn't get a full kitchen set, so maybe that's why we didn't get any kitchen clutter. But anyway, I really like how the pack can still work well with the base game, but as I said, when you're paying 40 euros for an expansion pack, at least in my opinion, you should be able to fully furnish a home using only this pack and have the base game be a bit more like supplementary. But yeah, I don't want to complain too much. I haven't tried the gameplay aspect of it because I know that a lot of people have criticized the pack for being similar to a game pack in terms of features, but I do want to be a bit reluctant to criticize it because first of all, I haven't played with the pack, and also I'm not into game development, so I don't know how things I don't know how much each feature cost, you know? But I do have to say that from what I've seen, the features do not seem too special. Maybe the app is the only special thing that we got, but the date arrangement is like a recycled system from, I believe, the Wedding Stories pack. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Yeah, to be honest, I really like the pack for what we've got in terms of build by. And here we're moving on to the second apartment. This is a bit bigger. It does not have a living space, unfortunately, because I gave them a bigger kitchen and also a dining area. And for this one, I was imagining maybe a family living here, either two parents or a single parent with their child. Not a teen, a child, because I did find decorating a child's room being a bit easier to do with this pack and base game, because for teenagers I was imagining that they would need some more, how can I say this, maybe some items that reflect more their personality. And of course we have them, we have a few items that do that for children, but at least in my mind, teenagers are a bit more mature, so the objects that we have for kids do not really work for teenagers. But yeah, as you can see here in the kitchen, I'm placing these the backsplash, the tile backsplash that we got with the pack. I really like it, and it reminds me of the tiles that my grandparents used to have in their homes, so it's very nostalgic, I would say. But I do have to say that in the corners there, the tile was not like meeting the corner of the wall, so I had to move it around. So maybe if they scaled it up a bit, it would work a bit better, but that wasn't a big deal. As you can see, as you saw, I did move it around and it worked in the end. And here what I really like is that this pack kind of prompted me to use items and swatches that I wouldn't use in my regular builds. So that was very refreshing, and maybe that's why I like this pack this much. So yeah, this bathroom is honestly one of my favorite bathrooms. The blue tile that we have with the base game, I've never used it before, and I'm so happy that I managed to use it here. And now moving on to the parents' bedroom. Initially I was trying to use the objects that we got with Love Struck, but they did look a bit too modern for the style that I was going for this apartment. So I did switch to some base game items. I did use some Love Struck items here and there, but for the most part, both the apartments on the ground floor are mostly base game, which is also a good thing, because if you don't own Love Struck, you can still sort of download this build and change maybe the wallpaper on the outside and replace some things here and there. But I think that the lower two apartments should be very base game friendly. But yeah, overall I really like this bedroom as well. The darker wood color with the lighter accents, I think works very well. And I love this plant that we got with Love Struck, which I placed on top of the fireplace. And yeah, here moving on to the child's bedroom, I also really like how it turned out. Usually I do have a very difficult time decorating children's bedroom, but for this one, I don't know why, but it came together very organically, I want to say. It's not because of the Love Struck expansion pack, because we didn't get any items for children. So it's a fully base game pretty much, other than the plushie I placed in, not the teddy bear, but I did place a plushie on a little table on the side of the desk. But yeah, all in all, I really like it. when I was decorating this, I was imagining a boy living here, but it can be for a girl, honestly. It's very gender neutral, I would say. It just uses some orange and blue colors, and that's pretty much it. So I'm not too mad about it. And yeah, and I also like how well decorated it is. I don't know why I used to have such a hard time decorating rooms for children, but I really like this one. And honestly, even though I did not build this house for any of my personal gameplay, I do see myself playing here. And I was also thinking about maybe doing a mini series focusing on the Love Struck expansion pack, so that we can try out the gameplay and also kind of do a small review of the gameplay as well. But yeah, overall for this one, as I said before, the objects that we got are very high quality. I really like them, but my criticism is that we cannot build a house using only the expansion pack, which is forgivable, I want to say, but also the objects themselves do not work very well. Most of the items that we got are very modern looking, I would say, and like we have then the backsplash tile that I used in the kitchen of the second apartment, and that's very traditional looking. It doesn't work well with the overall style of the pack. As I said, it's very modern and it looks very mismatched, if that's the correct term. So yeah, I think that's the biggest criticism for this pack. As you saw, I wasn't able to use the new beds for any of the more traditional looking apartments that I made, but I did use them in this one. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing for me. I didn't want to have to rely on base game that much, but I did to make it work. But yeah, anyway, moving on to this one. This is the more renovated apartment, the more modern looking. And I did have a bit of a hard time figuring out how I would lay out the kitchen and the living space, and also the color scheme, because I did use these what color is it? It's not red, it's a Bordeaux color, a wine color, I would describe it as such. So yeah, I was having a hard time because the chairs I used in the dining table have this gold accent color, and I didn't know how to make it work for the rest of the living space. But I think that the more I looked at it, the less it bothered me. Overall, I do really like this apartment. The Sims that I am imagining living here are either two roommates or maybe siblings with opposing personalities, because as you will see in a bit when we decorate the bedrooms, I did try a lot to make their personalities show in how I decorated the bedrooms. But yeah, I thought that probably two roommates live here. The one should have I'm not really sure, the love bug personality trait, and the other one should be the romantically reserved, if I'm saying that correctly. So the love bug sim, I was thinking that maybe they go on a lot of dates and they bring people home to have some romantic time together, whereas the other sim has had their heart broken before and they're not into dating anymore. They just want to focus on themselves. You will see. So yeah, we are decorating the bedroom for the sim that is romantically reserved, So their bed is untidy. I did use the extra content that you get if you pre-order or get the pack before September something. I'm not really sure what the exact date is, but as I said, they had their heart broken before, and so they're not looking for a partner. They're just looking to work out and be the best version of themselves. Yeah, they just like to stay in their bed, I think, or maybe go to the gym because we have a very nice gym already with the pack. It's very nicely built. It's kind of empty for my liking, but it's still a very nice lot for your Sims to visit. So yeah, as you can see here, I did add some posters with people working out to kind of express this part of their personality a bit more. And I did use these columns with the mirrors in the middle to kind of make it look like a gym, because I was imagining that the sim works out a lot, so they look at themselves in the mirror while they're working out. That's just what I had in mind. And here we are in the Love Bugs bedroom. So I placed this suitcase where you can change into costumes, because I said I was imagining the sim having a lot of action in their bedroom, so they would use this suitcase a lot. And I used the wallpaper with the flowers, which is so beautiful. I love it so much. And of course the lips couch. And another thing I loved using was these Polaroid pictures of different people. So in my mind, I thought that they are all the people that this sim has dated, and they kind of collect them as like a prize. I think that's what they do. They just go on dates and have spicy time with other sims, and then they just ghost them and they never get in contact with them ever again. So they are sort of a heartbreaker. So one sim has had their heart broken, and the other sim is the one that breaks hearts, but they have never been together. They're just friends. That's what I was imagining, or they could be siblings. The thing is that they have no romantic connections, but of course that's the storyline that I have in mind. You can of course have your own storyline. And here in the bathroom, I did use the tile that we got with the Love Shack expansion pack, and I used the mirrors that we got with the pack as well. And I did use the mirror with the photos on the right sink, because I was thinking that this is the sink of the love bug. So not only do they have photos of people they dated in the room, but also in the bathroom. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video, and let me give you a tour of the house in real time. So this is the build. I love it so much. I love the red with the blue and the cream color. It's so nice. I love this plant. We got a lot of nice plants, honestly, with the pack. And here we have the backyard. I used the same cover, I think, as in the front yard. I really like the pattern, and I think it goes very well with the rest of the colors. And yeah, this is a little swimming pool. We have a few planter boxes and the table. And yeah, as I said, I didn't show it in the video, but here we have the art easel and this telescope I placed. I don't know if you can use it, because I think that if it's a roofed area, you cannot use it, but I'm not sure. But moving on to the inside, here we have the closed off porch that I was talking about, and then this entrance area, which I love. We have a few mailboxes and some garbage bins. I think they work like garbage bins. Here is the studio apartment. So there is a small hall space here, and oh, here is also my tester sim. And yeah, here is the living area and the bed. It is pretty cramped, but I think that's normal for a studio apartment. And here is the kitchen. I think it's one of my favorite kitchens So here is the kitchen. I think it's my favorite kitchen I made for this build. And also here we have the little bathroom. Okay, the bathroom is missing the sink for some reason, so let me place that back. Now I think it should be fine, but yeah, here we have the little bathroom. And here in the second apartment, I really like how the tile, the backsplash tile, contrasts with the tile on the walls. I really like it. It's a pretty big kitchen, but you have only one counter available to cook. I hope you don't mind that, but if you do, you can get rid of the microwave or some of the decorations, and you should be able to use like 2 counters to cook with your family or something like that. And the bathroom, I really like this bathroom, like the blue tile that I mentioned. I don't know, it's just very nice. Here, this is my favorite kids bedroom. I like how decorated it is. I don't know, it's just so pretty. And here is the parents' bedroom. I think it looks calming in my eyes. I don't know, it's just very nice. Honestly, I really like everything here. So moving on to the last apartment, I do have this little lofted entrance space. For this, it still uses the chipped wall paint, but the apartment is very renovated and very modern. I don't know, I really like the cream colors and the Bordeaux colors on the items. That's very pretty. And here I tried to kind of mismatch the counters to the cabinets. Again, as I mentioned, this uses a lot of base game because we didn't get any kitchen specific items with Lovestruck expansion pack. Here is a little hallway using the new mirror. And yeah, the bedroom, the what is it called again? The romantic reserved Sims bedroom. It's very pretty. I think I would sleep here. I would just change the bed, but I was imagining that maybe the Sim prefers to spend their money in gym equipment than furniture for their bedroom. And yeah, here is I love this one so much. I think red or like Bordeaux is one of my favorite colors now, but as you can see, I use these little wall lights here that should light the room very nicely, and also this neon sign which is heart-shaped. And yeah, I really like it. I think that if you decide to place this lot and have your sim be a love bug and have a lot of action in their bedroom, you will really like this room. Here is the bathroom. In my mind, I was thinking that maybe 2 girls live here, so I thought that this tile worked very nicely. But of course, you can have male sims live here, or both male and female. And yeah, here is a small hallway. We just have this art easel and some paintings here that maybe somebody has painted. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is for today's video. If you liked this one, make sure to leave a like, a subscribe, and also a comment letting me know which was your favorite part of this build. What do you think of the Lovestruck expansion pack? And leave any recommendations you have for future videos. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Bye!